I hadn't planned to stop by that evening. Honestly, I was just passing through the old neighborhood, the one I hadn't visited in years, when I saw her porch light still glowing faintly through the falling dusk. Mrs. Turner. 83 years old. My old neighbor. The woman who used to sneak me cookies when I was a kid and tell me stories about her late husband who, according to her, could fix anything except a broken heart. I parked the car, hesitated for a moment, then thought, why not? Just a quick hello. 5 minutes, tops. When she opened the door, she looked smaller somehow. Her silver hair was messy, her hands trembled slightly as she adjusted her glasses. But her smile, oh, it was the same. Ethan? My goodness, is that really you? Yeah, I chuckled. Just in town for a day. Thought I'd drop by and say hello. Her eyes softened. Why don't you stay a little longer? It wasn't just a polite offer. There was something behind it, a quiet plea that tugged at me. So I stayed. She brewed tea in her old floral kettle, the one that always whistled louder than it should. We sat in the same living room where I'd spent so many afternoons as a boy, pretending her dog was a dragon and the couch cushions were treasure islands. We talked about everything and nothing, how the world had changed, how her garden used to bloom brighter, how she missed the sound of laughter in the house. At one point, she paused and stared out the window. You know, sometimes the evenings feel too long. You start to wonder if people even remember you. Her words hit me harder than I expected. Because I realized, she'd been alone for a long time. I asked about her son, Michael. She smiled faintly but didn't say much. Just said he lived far away and was busy. When I offered to help her fix the flickering porch light, she lit up like a child. We spent nearly an hour tinkering with wires, laughing every time I got shocked. Then, when I said I should probably go, she hesitated again. Would you mind staying for dinner? I made too much soup. I glanced at the clock. I had a hotel reservation waiting. A meeting early tomorrow. A life that was always rushing somewhere. But then I saw the empty second bowl on her table, already set. Waiting. And I couldn't leave. Dinner was simple, chicken soup, a few crackers, and memories. She showed me a photo album filled with yellowed pictures, her wedding, her son's graduation, a dog I barely remembered. When she turned a page, one photo caught my eye. It was of me, a scruffy-haired boy holding a lemonade stand sign. You kept this? I asked, stunned. She smiled softly. You were a good kid. You always brought light to this street. I've kept every bit of light I could find. That's when I realized, sometimes, we walk past people who once shaped pieces of our hearts, and we forget they're still there, waiting quietly in the corners of our past. As I was leaving, she gripped my hand. Ethan, she whispered, thank you, for staying a little longer. You have no idea how much that means. I smiled. Actually, I think I do. I promised to visit again next week, and this time, I meant it. 2 days later, I got a call. It was her son, Michael. His voice was heavy. He said his mother had passed peacefully in her sleep, the night after my visit. I froze. My throat went dry. She talked about you, he said. Said an old friend came by, said it made her so happy. She told me, I finally got to say goodbye properly. I sat in my car for a long time, staring at the sunset through my windshield. A single visit, one unplanned stop, had meant more than I could have ever imagined. And maybe that's the quiet magic of kindness. It doesn't always roar. Sometimes, it just whispers, why don't you stay a little longer? Message. Sometimes, the smallest act of staying, of listening, of being present, can fill someone's world with warmth. Because love isn't always about grand gestures. Sometimes, it's just about showing up, and staying long enough to matter. Estimated narration time, 11 minutes. Tone, heartfelt, nostalgic, emotionally uplifting. Themes, human connection, loneliness, compassion, the power of small kindnesses.